Cut to me 20 minutes later. I'm currently in a bush, my brains out. Vegan and his stupid bean juice. Hey, what's up everybody? In this episode of DnDGreentext, Kai casts a fireball in a small room, Dai accidentally starts a cult, and Ray makes a dex save. Anyway, how are you guys doing? Welcome to another DnDGreentext video. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Before jumping into the video, I want to quickly kindly ask you if you want to smash the like button because I would really appreciate it and it helps me out. If not, you can smash the dislike button because it's not shown anymore, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, thanks so much for doing that. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Tales from Adventurers League. Race change. The DM forces your human fighter to become a tiefling via a powerful fiendish curse. What should you do? This reminds me of a game that I had a few weeks ago. BDMing a game of Adventurers League at my local game shop. A kid approaches the table wanting to join. I ask him about his character and he tells me that he's playing a human paladin. He tells me that he's got standard stats. Nothing too crazy, and I ask to see his sheet. He protests, but relented when I said that I only wanted to confirm his character. The first thing I see is his race was crossed out and the word Catkin was written in crude Sharpie. I asked him about it, and he told me that the last group that he was in had a DM who forced everyone to become animal people. When he refused to do it, the DM did it for him. When the kid protested, the DM told him that due to Adventurers League rules, he couldn't change it. After I heard this, I informed him that I couldn't accept his character due to it being a non-Wizards of the Coast approved race. So I handed him a new sheet and I told him that I would accept his old character. The kid is still in my group to this day. That's nice and wholesome, but also the first DM doesn't make any sense. The first DM doesn't allow him to change it back because of Adventurers League rules, but the second DM says that the rules say that that was a homebrew race. So what the microwaving for the greater good. Welp, my level 15 Crusader party just microwaved the humpback whale to death and healed it to make sure that they killed it right. The logic being that a polymorphed Marilith would be much easier to kill via exhaustion levels, which apparently persists through polymorph. Though 4d10 radiant per failed save from Sickening Radiance will kill a 90 health whale before it fails the total of 6 times. Necessary for the 6 levels of exhaustion. Hence, their Forge Cleric staring their paladin in the face, saying it is the morally correct thing to do, while healing the whale so it could cook for longer. Do you want to fight a Marilith? No? Then shut up and let me finish microwaving this whale. Nervous laughter, what the f***? Yeah, no, that's absolutely the morally correct thing to do. Sure. Coffee. just coffee. Would coffee give your character any boosts? Bimmy, rogue, walking to the town with my party. Been walking for hours, and I'm feeling tired as f***. The druid notices, and he hands me a cup of a hot black liquid. He tells me that it's a natural drink made from crushed up roasted cherries and boiled water. He tells me that it's healthy for me. He tells me that it will give me the energy to continue. I think he's full of shit, but I drink it anyways. Cut to me 20 minutes later. I'm currently in a bush, my brains out. Vegan and his stupid bean juice. Oh yes, the universal side effect of drinking coffee. Okay. Loot for a noob. Be new to Dungeons and Dragons. Don't know anything, but a group is willing to give me a chance. I'm handed a pre-made half-elf archer. It's slow, but we murder hobosome goblins. Slim pickings for spoils. Low level and I get the scraps. Useless things like cookware. Not fussy. Whatever I can't use, I'll sell in the next town. We're camping for the night and I clean the crusty goblin gore off of the stuff we got to have something to eat and drink from. Goblin gravy boat starts smoking. Poof! A freaking gene, thankful that I freed them from gobs of gravy crust, will grant me one wish. My SOB character needs everything. I want loot, I say. Wizard responds that that's rather abstract. Me. Okay, I want arms full of gold. Jin.
How many?
5. There are 5 of us, so why not share so we can all get decked out at the town that the DM mentioned?
Granted.
And so the bugger F's off before the smoke clears. Bard. Nice. You'll be handy to pick up chicks in town. What the f***? I'm now an abstract loot with 5 golden arms. Pick related. Okay, that is one take on modern art or abstract art or whatever. A new take on the peasant railgun. Any good DM would immediately put a stop to that, which is why you say that it's a line of peasants moving a peasant at supersonic speeds. Then you really sell them on the concept based on that imagery and they allow it. It's all in the art of the sale. There goes little Susie, off to become munitions. Aren't we all so very proud of her? A very bright, very fast future ahead of her as she ignites from air pressure. They blow up so fast, it's beautiful. That time that the kobolds actually won. Bimmy, DM, running an open world game on a newly discovered jungle continent. From the list of plot hooks, they pick kobolds because they sound the easiest and they're the only ones who apparently started it. Supposedly murdering colonists, but when asked, no one actually knows who witnessed it or where exactly it happened. Our heroes pressed on anyway. Whether they didn't put it together or just didn't care, I never asked. This matters because the hostilities made tall folk shoot on sight as far as kobolds were concerned. The party pressed on and eventually came across a wooden kobold fortress on an island in the middle of the river. Towers manned by kobolds in armor featured ballistas that took 4 kobolds to man. The party waltzed through it. Magic tore apart the ballista. Their boat was sunk, but by the end of it, they'd slaughter a handful of villagers and 20 kobold soldiers. The armor and the forts are for policing kobolds. The ballista just made sinking boats that don't pay their taxes easier. The playbook for tall folk is much more in-depth. That night, they're attacked by more kobolds, but they're more militiamen. The troops that were on patrol during the attack and some surviving villagers buck conventional wisdom and track them down while they sleep. Unfortunately, one surprise round doesn't make it a winnable fight. The PCs start winning, but they're bloodied and decide to return home instead of trying to rest in the wilderness. The party was so proud of itself that they never bothered to ask why a fortress that had a skeleton crew of kobolds only sent 2 shifts of fully manned ballistas. I mean, come on, kobolds never win a stand-up fight with anything. Why would they even try? It's not like large humanoids are new to the region. Lizard folk border them to the north, and there were rumors of a serpent civilization to the west. I didn't really expect my players to get this. They would have had to do some digging, and they were the charge forward sort. They were pretty surprised when they ran into the actual kobold military though. Rustle your enemy's jimmies and you can lure them into a trap. Sun Tzu, probably. Their next expedition is clearly different as scouts are visible signaling that they're passing with colored flaming arrows. When they rush to the site of the signal, they find abandoned lookouts with ziplines and several sets of likely fake tracks leading away from it. Expert tracking rolls determine that every set of footprints is too old to be their signaler. They do this a few more times, and on one of them, a small group of kobolds pelts them with arrows and begins to flee as they get close to the riverbank. The party was a little pissed off at this point, and they wanted to see some action, so they gave chase. They reasoned that 6 kobolds couldn't run away without leaving any tracks. Success! The kobolds hadn't been careful enough to cover the entrance to their escape tunnel. They rush inside, where a kobold is standing at the end of the tunnel and more bolts are fired from behind the thin mud walls. The party charges forward, chasing the bait kobold. The barbarian actually figured out that the mud between them and the enemies in the walls couldn't be that tough. Pancakes a kobold into the actual side of the tunnel through the thin layer of mud. Kobolds decide that now is a good time as any to collapse the tunnel entrance. They light a fire at the other end out of view from the entrance with a clever zigzag. Not hard to figure out what's going on. The tunnel fills with smoke. They can't tell if it's harder to breathe from the lack of oxygen or the smoke, but it's probably both. Bag of Tricks pulls their ass out of the fire. They roll a giant badger and dig a hole to the surface. Not a kobold in sight. The PCs demand bonus experience since the kobolds used actual tactics and they only killed like 10 kobolds between 4 level 3s. I tell them that they might deserve that if they didn't fall for every single trap and actually came up with countermeasures. Party is dumbfounded and annoyed that they did all that work for nothing. They vow to never return to Cobbled Lands again. Without actually killing any players, the Cobbles drive away the murderous adventurers. Guerrilla tactics successful. And I level them up for putting up with my bull. Oh god. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why leveling up with milestones is superior to just experience. Lawful, quote unquote, is a loose term. Bimmy, DM for a lawful evil party. Everyone is evil apart from the knight who has been blackmailed to join the party. They are all in a mafia. Evil is typically extortion or just general sketchy stuff. Their superiors explicitly told them no killing of randoms. They are off the clock and they see an ad for monster killing contest, ran by a morally ambiguous half-elf. He wants adventurers to go into the forest and slay Fae. No real reason, he's just racist to Fae. Party jumps on board. Still 2 days before the tourney. Start talking to the other participants and get to know the competition. Their fellow adventurers are just people in it for the glory. One fellow is a halfling that recently gotten divorced. The party recognizes him from another ad that they saw in a local tavern. Just a generic "talk to me for more info." Return to the tavern and respond to the ad. It's the halfling's ex-wife. She's a minor baron. That cheating bastard thinks he's tough. His old wife is too plain for him now that he's a high-flying adventurer. I want you to enter the tournament and make sure that he doesn't slay a single monster. Make him come out of them woods as an embarrassment. The base pay for this is 300 gold each and minus 50 gold for each head that he brings. The party immediately jumps on board. Magus starts hatching a crazy plan. Monologues in front of the ex-wife. We sneak into his house the night before the tournament. The alchemist force feeds his sleeping body a knockout potion. Then we get sandpaper and start whittling away his feet. Once we get to the leg bone, we give him peg legs. I use minor illusion to make it look like his feet are still there. Then we give him a potion of ignore pain. And we make the potency so that it wears off as the tournament starts. At that moment, I drop the illusion and he starts to scream and cry like a little girl. She is mortified. That's not Dreamer, I only meant for you to steal his skills or something. What the is wrong with you? Maybe rough him up a little, but what the was all of that? The lawful neutral knight apologizes. Says that they need some time to think of a more robust plan. And so the session ends. Jesus Christ, that was... Yes, lawful is a very loose term in this context. Yeah, sure. And there's no way that's neutral. That is no way that's lawful neutral. I mean, you know, it is, but it should probably be more fitting to, I don't know, lawfully chaotic neutral maybe, or chaotic something, or lawful evil if you want. I don't think it's lawful though. Anyway, on that note, that's gonna be it for this video. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to leave a like if you did and subscribe for more if you haven't already. Also, thank you to everyone supporting the channel on Patreon as well as here on YouTube. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much for the support given there. Links below if you want to check those out, as well as links to the social media, Discord server, subreddit, anything else. And yeah, that's it. Thanks again for watching and I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.